our best of 3 series. We are on Battlefield of Eternity. I'm Jinxie Cat, and I am so excited to be casting my very own division. I'm in Division A too. So, what can we expect to come out here? We can maybe see some things like Greymane, of course. Greymane is very good here. Li Ming, Lunara, Vala, Artanis. Never mind. It looks like somebody has left the game. So we're going to go ahead and pop back over here while we figure out what happened. Okay. So it looks like first pick was done wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and switch that. So ReGen Phoenix was supposed to be first pick. So that means we swap over here for a second. We can update this in real time. But Battlefield of Eternity was actually picked up by Team Happy Cloud. So we'll go ahead and change that really quick. I am on Team Gilly Shark. That's correct. Yeah. I'm excited to see what the weather has for the players. What a pal. That's definitely something I'm super excited. Okay, what is happening? They keep leaving the lobby and re-entering. So we're just going to go ahead and see. Arrow, thanks for coming in and let me know what was happening so we can go ahead and update that. All of you here are cheering for ReGen Phoenix and Team Happy Cloud. I'm so excited to see you guys. Like I tell everybody all the time in my chat, when like a team has a community behind them and they all show up and support their friends, it makes me so happy because I just really, I love Heroes of the Storm. I get super excited about it. And so seeing you guys get super excited, it makes me excited. And then we can have a better cast. Like it's just a lot of fun. Also, chat, I did some changes to the in-game sound. I updated it on OBS and in-game. So I heard last night that it was a little bit quiet and people prefer it louder. So if the thing is like screaming in your ears, please let me know and I will adjust it as needed. Or if it's still too quiet, you can go ahead and let me know. We'll equip it on the fly. And yeah, we're just waiting to go ahead and get started here. Played against you a few times. I'm a sub for Team Happy Cloud, but I used to be. Okay, very nice. Yeah, I think we've played a couple of times. I don't play as much as Veggies this season. So I've been in a couple times, but not as much. Okay, they're just going to go ahead and jump in. So we're going to try this a second time. Once again, game number 1, ReGen Phoenix versus Team Happy Cloud. We are on Battlefield of Eternity. So as I was saying, we could maybe look to see some Greymane here, some Vala, Artanis rises in priority on this map. Rhaegar, gonna be the very first ban. Bloodlust is really an incredible race for the Immortals, so I can understand why they don't want to play against that if they're not going to pick it. One thing that I have seen rise in priority, however, is a lot of teams are going less Immortal race comps and more team fight comps. Just because, you know, it's really hard to race if you're dead, and it gives a lot more flexibility on the map if you can just go ahead and fight your opponents and then go from there. We are going to see that Johanna banned away as per usual. She is currently, in my opinion, the strongest tank in the game, except for now that May's here, which we are going to do some playing later. We'll have to see how Johanna holds up. In my opinion, she's kind of like a ranged Johanna. But yeah, she's very good right now, so banned out. Deathwing also is going to be taken away. Can definitely understand it. It's really hard to contest Deathwing in a lane here, and his ability to just be anywhere on the map is pretty darn good. Cassia, the final ban for round 1, just because a lot of people are considering her the best hero in the Nexus right now. She does a ton of damage, and that extra blind just feels devastating to walk into. So, bans aside, what are we going to see? Is it going to be the Greymane or the Li Ming? Those are usually top priority picks here, but we also could see something like ETC, and it is going to be Tassadar. Not predicting anything correctly this evening. All right, Caster Curse, let's go. Tass is very strong right now. His wave clear is insane, so you could kind of leave him in a lane if you wanted your team to go ahead and do ganks and whatnot. He also does an insane amount of damage. And granted, he has to root himself for his Gosh, what is the name of that ability? Psyshock is laser. I actually haven't played New Tassadar, so I don't know what it's called. Stretches all the way into Narnia practically. It's got a very long range. We are going to see the rebuttal picks out here from Team Happy Cloud, Imperius, and Vala. Great on the map. Vala burns the Immortal really well with that Hungering Arrow build. And then Imperius is just all around a really solid off lane. And Murda, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Undead Army. Hopefully you enjoy. We're going to see Deckard Cain ETC come out now, which is a really solid combo. You can get sleep into Mosh Pit or vice versa, allowing them to sit still for like, I don't know, something like 4 or 5 seconds, which allows Tassadar to do an insane amount of damage. So really solid wombo combo coming out from ReGen right now. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Next span is going to be Artanis. Can definitely understand that. Like I was saying, he really rises in priority. That amateur opponent just shreds the Immortal. And into Imperius, it can be kind of difficult just because he can dash away from your spear. He's also got those shields that last forever. And his mana bar goes a little bit further than Imperius's does. We're going to see the tank lock coming out from ReGen here now, going ahead and ban that Garrosh. He is the next strongest tank after Johanna and ETC, of course. So that leaves us with something like a Mal'Ganis. If we want to see a super spicy pick, we could see the Uther tank come out, or Azul. Both very strong here as well. Other things include a Nubarak and Stitches, which you're really reaching for the bottom right there. Diablo could come out with lots of walls. It is going to be the Ana Zarya. And I'm wondering if we are going to see an actual main tank from Team Happy Cloud, or if they're just going to go like a ton of bruisers. We could even be an Imperius main tank. It's a very European style of play, but definitely a style of play nonetheless. Rounding out the draft for ReGen Phoenix, we're going to see Sonya come out for the solo lane. Struggles. Imperius does struggle into her a little bit, I have heard. And then Raynor, just a really solid auto attack hero to poke from a safe distance. I like the Raynor here. I think that's really smart. You can use Hyperion to push. You can use the Banshee to scout. Can you play Mal'Ganis right now because of the rework? I don't know. He's banned? Okay. Is he really banned? He didn't get that much of a change. Like, they called it a rework, but it was just adjusting. Talent adjustments, in my opinion. Something, a little bit of a Mal'Ganis player. But that's none of my business. I respect NGS, and I can definitely understand why they would do it. Blaze coming out to round out the team comp. And just like I said, there are 3 different bruisers, and anybody except for Zarya could go ahead and really main tank here. There's a lot of support for Vala, so we'll have to see what they can do, as it looks like Team Happy Cloud is going to be relying on that solo support Vala. We're going to hop back over here for just a second while we load in. And looking at these team comps, gosh, I think I like ReGen's team comp a little bit more with the Tassadar Raynor, but Team Happy Cloud has a very spicy draft, and if they can work it, then I'm super excited because I think that they'll be able to do a ton. They have a lot of utility, a lot of CC, so if they can get this set up, the Blaze into the Imperius stun, it's going to be absolutely insane. They also have that Honest stun, so it's just if they layer their CC properly, it is going to be really strong. However, the more generic comp of ReGen leads me to believe that it is a lower burden of execution and therefore will be able to be executed easier. Nevertheless, we are getting into our game number 1, and we can see our little moon icon up here at the top. That is fog. We can see it's foggy right now. I'm going to just see what my frames are right now. All right, 112. That's not terrible. Go ahead and get rid of that. Over here on the left-hand side, we have ReGen Phoenix with Era rocking that ETC. Daribo on that Tassadar. Re-Psychic rocking the, gosh, what is that? Deckard Cain here in the middle. Rabid Penguin on the Raynor. Mudge on the Sonya. And over on the right-hand side, Sweet Buns on that Imperius. are set 275 Delta on the Ana. Bret Michaels is your Blaze. Galaxy Quest is your Vala, who's taking a ton of damage right now. Sonya getting caught in the middle of 4. Rabbit Penguin having to run for their life. They might go down here, and they do, unfortunately. First blood going over to Team Happy Cloud. And then, of course, in the bottom is OJ Juice, our redundant friend here, who is doing a great job of holding the line against Arrow and Repsychic. We can see the members of Team Happy Cloud going to go ahead and regroup with their team now. Yay, weather effects of Rabbit Pagan. I guess they're a little bit salty that just happened. Super unlucky. ETC slides in. Sweet Buns is invisible right now, so a ton of damage going out onto Arrow. He is able to slide out, takes a little bit of health, grabs some of those healing potions, and comes back feeling much safer. Power slide is down, so their engage is down for a little bit, but should be back any second. We'll see if they can get any damage down here onto Galaxy Quest. But it looks like Poke coming out from them, and the Zarya right now is working its magic. ETC takes a lot of free damage, getting that slide onto Vala. Gets stunned. Out comes the triangle, preventing him from dying, and then healing up by Repsychic allows him to be nice and healthy right there. He basically gone back to full health, even though he did have to tap. Now, that is a long cooldown taken out for Arrow right now. As you can see, he is just getting absolutely harassed by OJ and Galaxy Quest. And with that cap out, it looks like Team Happy Cloud has their sights set on this bottom camp. Invade coming in, however, from the team. Out comes the triangle, followed by the wall, and now Sweet Buns and OJ Juice are in a little bit of trouble. OJ Juice staying there. They're not going to be able to get on the point quick enough. They kind of just stood there on auto attack, so they are unfortunately going to lose that camp that was basically completed by them. Out comes the slide from Arrow. Sweet Buns gets the ally shield and gets the stun, standing in the Tassadar damage. Is it going to be enough? Fortunately, the wall prevents OJ Juice from stepping up forward, and that is going to be nobody going down. But Sweet Buns is very low on health and mana. On is low on mana. Everyone else is going to go ahead and be low on health, and they're just going to go ahead and back up. So you know what? You guys can have that cap. Meanwhile, up here in the top lane, it looks like Mudge is bullying Bret Michaels a little bit. They're going to go ahead and start that top siege camp. Meanwhile, Bret Michaels has to clear out this wave. We'll see if he tries to invade, because I do believe it was caught in his vision. Yet, we're going to go in and see if somebody can come up. Imperious is coming up. Mudge staying on the camp. They know Bret Michaels is low on mana, but they don't know those Sweet Buns is on the way. Out comes the stun. Imperious incredibly late, does miss that Celestial charge, and now Mudge is running for their life. However, here comes Arrow. Bret Michaels trying to get on that camp, and now both members are. There are 3 members of ReGen showing up now. Triangle comes out, Stone of Ceiling connects. Sweet Buns is going to unfortunately fall right there, and that is going to be 1-0 going over to ReGen. Vala getting ready to jump on this Immortal. OJ Juice trying to prevent the team from doing too much damage to it. However, they decide they're just going to go ahead and race, as halftime is surely going to be reached by ReGen. Both teams doing their best to get a little bit of damage on. We might see Team Happy Cloud just go ahead and race this guy down, simply due to the fact that they got such a late start on it. We can see that they're about 6,000 or so damage down, and with all 5 members able to jump onto this fairly quickly, it should be no contest. We've been trying to see a little bit of interrupt there. Out comes the Force Wall, but easily enough, ReGen is able to pick up this Immortal. Team Happy Cloud getting ready to defend. Immortal is going to be top lane. Blaze went back to base, went ahead, grabbed some mana. They're going to head bottom as Team Happy Cloud prepares for the very first Immortal defense of the game. Now, this is where Tassadar is really going to shine. Tassadar and Raynor, they have insane amounts of poke from a really far range. So they can go ahead and just siege down this fort. We can see the gate has already been lost. Sweet Buns gets damage onto Arrow. Vala not able to follow up. However, stunned by the Immortal comes out, preventing them from coming in any further. OJ Juice nearly getting stunned by that Immortal. It backs out in the nick of time. Fort not looking great. Out comes that Scroll of Stealing. It hits 1 member. Immortal coming up to follow up with the stun. Does hit OJ Juice. And now that the fort's gone, the Immortal is almost dead. ReGen is just going to go ahead and back out. Meanwhile, here in the bottom lane, Mudge and Bret Michaels still duking it out. Bret Michaels low on mana. Mudge pretty healthy on everything, really. It is a hard lane for Blaze into this Sonya. She's able to just heal up forever. She doesn't have to worry about mana. And we might see an invade coming in. She's able to back up safely enough. The front fort is gone. Front towers, excuse me. Remember, another thing to note is this is new towers. So towers will not target you if you hit a hero anymore. The fort is changed a little bit as well. ReGen able to pick up this bottom camp, no problem. Towers will not target you. The fort still will, but I think the fort does less damage again, just because it was a little bit too punishing to diving heroes with a diving comp, which meant about half the meta and half the player base couldn't really play. So they went ahead and nerfed those guys a little bit now. And we can definitely see the changes here as both those towers were able to go down easily enough. And we can see Brett Michaels is under a lot of pressure from Sonya. Down here in the bottom lane, Fog has respawned once again. Arrow is currently invisible, and immediately as I say that, gets revealed by Vala's multi-shot. Content with getting the entire fort, including the walls. ReGen is going to go ahead and back up here. Camps need to be taken by both teams. We'll take a look over here. 45 seconds for Happy Cloud, 29 for ReGen. Mudge, gonna go ahead, grab that top camp. And I realize we haven't taken a look at any of our talents yet. So why don't we go ahead and pull these up. We have that prog rock for ETC, a little bit difficult to complete on this map. They're at 13 stacks, doing really well. 105 for Tassadar on that static charge, getting that extra 250 bonus damage. Here in the middle, everybody's gonna go ahead and raid. A nice face melt by Arrow was able to push 3 or 4 members of THC into that Immortal stun. And now we're going to see the red team go on the defensive here. Zarya gets stunned. ETC coming out. They do have level 10 online. It is going to be the mosh pit for ETC. Does not use it yet. Stay a while and listen. Archon, Hyperion, and Wrath. Everything looking pretty standard here so far. ReGen immediately jumping on to that Immortal, trying to do damage. Arrow slides in. Out comes that Might of the Wrath of the Berserker. Arrow takes a lot of damage. Scroll comes out. Sweep Buns is in a ton of trouble right now. Arrow hits the Moss, landing one. A sleep there by Ana stops it. Out comes to Stay a While and Listen, hitting 2 members. Tassadar pops that Archon, and Vala is going to immediately be bursted down. OJ Juice next to follow with the slide of ETC, doing incredible amounts of work. And now the Immortal is going to come under assault as Daribo, Mudge, the entire team, they're pushing away as hard as they can. Halftime was already reached, and the second Immortal of the game is going to go over to ReGen. This time it's going to push bot. The Immortal always pushes the least pushed out lane. Everybody has respawn, and they do have level 10 on the side of Team Happy Cloud. That was really, I can't think of a word other than ballsy for THC to try and take that fight right there. Down level 10s. Now level 10s are down. Everything except for Hyperion on the side of ReGen. So this could be the engage from THC. They can find their way back into the match. They've been bullied really hard here. You can see a really strong pickup by the members of Arrow. Their comp does a lot of work. Sonya pops that Wrath. She's trying to get a ton of damage onto this keep. Out comes the Hyperion finally. And now we might see the engage from Team Happy Cloud. They got to do something sooner. They're going to go ahead and lose this fort. Brett Michaels gets locked into that Scroll of Stone. 2-man stun from Imperius. Out comes a charge by Blaze. Arrow has a run for their life. Bunker is dropped to make sure that nobody gets stuck in that Stay a While and Listen. Imperius with another Celestial charge. He drops his Angelic Armament, doing a ton of damage onto Arrow. Rabbit Penguin, however, is just chunking in the back, and the first keep of the game goes over to ReGen. Immortal is pushing on core, but is incredibly low and should be completed soon enough. OJ Juice gets stunned once again. What are you doing, buddy? And now we're going to see ReGen just go ahead and take this bottom camp. Who's the best hero and why is it Arthas? Well, for the Lich King, of course. Also, speaking of for the Lich King, Nara2, thank you so much for the follow. We're going to see a fight breaking out here in the Immortal area of the game. Out comes Wrath, a nice sleep dart by Sonya, or by Ana onto Sonya, puts an end to that. Unfortunately, how comes the stone? Out is that expulsion zone, and the team is just going to try and disengage. The nice thing about Team Happy Cloud is they have relatively low cooldowns on their ultimates, so they are going to be able to use those and not feel too terribly bad about them. Should be up for the next Immortal phase. Brett Michael is taking a little bit of poke damage there from Tassadar. His 13s are reached by ReGen. Phoenix and Team Happy Cloud are just going to go ahead and try and soak things, but we try and grab their camp before ReGen decides, you know what, we like this, it's ours. We saw that Oracle come out from Tassadar, so they know that it's being done. Since this camp is being done, they feel comfortable they can go ahead and take this top siege camp. And now the Impalers are going to be doing work in that already incredibly pushed out lane for THC. Brett Michael is going to go ahead, slide down here, try and alleviate some of this pressure in the lanes. BOE, as we know, is such a snowballing map. And while we're doing camps and push and wave, let's take a little bit of a look at these talents again. Once again, we got that Nano, have that Bunker. Rain of Vengeance for Vala instead of the Strafe. Interesting. Usually when you have a solo lane Vala, or a solo damage Vala, she takes that Strafe, you activate it with the Nano boost, and it does a ton of work. 13 still not reached for Team Happy Cloud, but we are going to see them go ahead and try and get as much damage as they can onto this Immortal. And now, the very first 5v5 on the Immortals, we can see that both teams are a little, they're pretty well matched, actually. Team's going to go ahead and reset. It looks like it might be ReGen on the defense, and they said, no, we got this. We're up a little bit. So they are not going to go ahead and race. Both teams just trying to defend right here. See what they can do. One thing to note, Vala, she's, oh, shoot. Scroll to the bottom. Should probably turn that off. Finally, ReGen is going to go ahead and step up onto this Immortal. Sweep on Celestial Charge to get out. We can hear that Wrath of Berserker coming up once again. Arrow zoning as best they can. In this choke point, it's going to be really difficult. We see the Vala vault forward. Does a ton of damage to Arrow. Out comes that displacement from Zarya. ETC slides in, gets a two-man mosh, immediately dies as a sleep dart by Ana is golden. However, Vala is next to fall, and that's all the damage on the side of Team Happy Cloud. Imperius is going to be the next to fall after that. Out comes to stay a while and listen, and that is going to be 3 for 1 in favor of ReGen there. They're going to get that third Immortal of the game, head up to this incredibly pushed lane, and see what they can do. Maybe they can even get the towers down before the Immortal spawn. He's got a nice, healthy, half-health shield, so it is going to be a struggle without Vala here. It's only Blaze and Ana. We can see Blaze has decided to forsake the bottom lane, so we can go ahead and do a little bit of damage to make sure the team doesn't lose here. Vala is up now. We'll be running in here in just a second. There she is. Fog is active right now, so if team stays invisible or stays holding still in the middle of it, they will become invisible. Wrath comes out once again. Blaze has to drop the Bunker to make sure he doesn't get stuck in that scroll of ceiling. Keep not long for this world. OJ nearly getting stunned again, but this time it's able to walk out of it. And now this Immortal with still a little bit of shield is looking at the core. Displacement coming out for Zarya. ETC slides in, getting 2 members. Brett Michaels, not long for this world, does go down. Angelic Armaments comes out, taking a little bit of damage. Zarya is going to be the next to fall. Sweet Buns going back in with almost no health. Ana healing it back up incredibly. Jumps in, doing a ton of damage, but here's to stay a while and listen. Zarya goes down. Imperius goes down, and this is going to be game number 1 going over to ReGen. GGs are called, and that's the end. Goodness gracious. We're going to go ahead and jump to our game summary. While I update scores, this was won by left team, and we'll go ahead and drop a little point to Reno there for them. So, here are the stats. You can go ahead and see that there just seems to be a little bit more damage on this side of ReGen here. Kills being 9-2. 13-minute game, so fairly quick actually, especially for a Div A game. Tassadar doing a ton of siege damage. Or excuse me, Sonya doing a ton of siege damage. 69, could have gotten 500 more siege damage and it would have been perfect. Tassadar coming out with that 38k. And Vala only able to drop 25. We can see Sonya even did more than her. Raynor did more than her. And then support and tank not doing a whole heck of a lot. Damage was spaced out evenly a little bit between the side of THC, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. We're going to go ahead and jump over to the talent series. You guys can take a look. We did only get to level 16. It looks like Mudge didn't even pick theirs up, but I had to assume that it would probably be, I think Ignore Pain is on 16. So if you guys want to see this up to 16, you can maybe add these builds to your repertoire, see what it does. Gotta make sure THC loses so we can stay in a better seed position. Makes sense. We're just gonna go ahead and wait for that lobby number. Yeah. I lost my train of thought there for a second. Gonna go ahead, hang out here while we wait for that lobby. Gonna go ahead and pop back over to me. Hello, it's me. So, that was a pretty explosive game number 1. Spicy comp coming out from THC. Unfortunately, like I said, just a little bit too much burden execution for them, so they weren't able to pull off as well. That ETC slide was insane, proving once again why he is one of the very best tanks in the game. We're going to wait and see what the teams want now. Should have it any minute here. And for those of you just joining, welcome, welcome. I'm going to go ahead and pop over to the maps for a second so we can talk about what happened. So, once again, ReGen Phoenix went ahead and banned Alterac Pass and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Team Happy Cloud banned Brax's Holdout and Sky Temple. First map, was picked up by Team Happy Cloud. They wanted BOE. ReGen ended up winning that. And so now we do have a lobby. I'm going to go ahead and hop in there, update it in real time. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to Towers of Doom. Looks like Team 1 has first pick. Going to go ahead and see. Just be silly here for a second. Is there like a wink emoji? We'll go ahead and we'll do this one. White man cool. And then like a LOL and a heart. Okay, there we go. So I know who picked the map and where we're going to go ahead and go to. Okay, look, it looks like it might not be right, actually. So I'm glad I asked. So for Towers of Doom, we'll know who picked that here in just a second, folks. Yeah, Team 2 has first pick. So this was picked up by ReGen. There we go. All right. So, Towers of Doom, picked by ReGen. Now, a lot of people said that this is where series come to end. So, are we going to see the two-man sweep by ReGen, or are we going to see Team Happy Cloud bring it back? I'll go ahead and let them know that we are ready on my side. And hopefully we'll hop into the game soon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very excited. I always hope for a 3-game series, especially because our next game isn't until 8:30. But we're going to play some May after that. So if you guys want to go ahead and stick around, you can get my bronze tank perspective on what May will be like. We'll take a look at some of our talents. I went ahead and bought her beforehand, and it looks like we're all ready to go. So we're just going to go ahead and jump in. Alrighty. They can pull it back, what a pal, I'm sure. They're a very strong team. I think they're the ones that, like, super clapped us, if I remember correctly. But I might not be. Who knows? Bands coming out here. We'll see if we see Feet Johanna and maybe an ETC Respect band. It was played so well in that first game. Else, we could once again see something like a Grey Mane or a Li Ming. They are very strong right now. Leoric and Malthael rise in priority for the double soak, so you can go ahead and control the bottom lane here. We could see a Sylvanas. And it's going to be a Samuro ban. I don't know anybody who plays Samuro on Team Happy Cloud, but apparently somebody does, so they're going to go ahead and ban that away, unless they've been confused and they think that Stark is on THC. Cassia going to be banned once again. Of course, she is very strong right now, and we wouldn't have it any other way. She does a ton of damage, and a lot of teams I've seen before the rework, Ball Lightning was the go-to pick. Now that Valkyrie is pretty much debugged, it's really insane, and most people are picking that. Rhaegar are going to be banned out once again. Nobody wants to deal with Bloodlust or Ancestral. I've seen a lot of Ancestral in high-level games, and it just kind of makes sense. Negate a lot of your enemies' damage, maybe blow some of those big cooldown, and then, nope, just kidding. So they're going to get rid of that. We'll see if maybe a Leoric or a Malthael comes out here. That's kind of my guess. I'm usually wrong. Nope, it's going to be that Johanna. They don't want to give Arrow that Johanna. Zool gonna be first picked for Arrow. And since it's Arrow, this may be a tank Zool. Zool actually has fallen a little bit down in priority. I'm not 100% sure why. I know he was nerfed a while ago, but he's still pretty highly contested in solo queue games, obviously, since Cassia was changed. She might be the reason people would rather pick her or one of the tanks over a Zool. We're going to see the Tassadar Deckard coming out from the side of THC this time, and I really like that from them. I think it was a strong combo last game, and when you throw that triangle of death in with Tassadar's circle and line of death, you just get a miserable geometry of badness. So great pick there. Can definitely understand it. And we're going to see Diablo coming out for much, actually. So this might be Arrow in the solo lane. Greymane picked up by Daribo, which, I mean, he's just, in my opinion, the best auto attacker in the game right now. I know a lot of heroes I say are the best in the game, but there are a lot of really good, solid heroes. So it makes sense to pick up that Greymane Curse Bullet followed by the Zool. You're just kind of a sitting duck if you get rooted and bulleted, especially if we see a Malthael here, because then you can bullet last rights and the team's basically dead. Lucio banned out on the side of THC. Don't want to deal with that zoom through lanes. It can be very frustrating to play into. And I'm really surprised we haven't seen the amount of focus onto solo lanes that we see in some other divisions. You know, usually you want to get those Leos, you want to get those Malthaels, and at least get them out. Garrosh going to be banned away once again, trying to tank lock THC with Diablo taken. We'll see what they pick up here. The ETC is available. He's very strong, and I think the Garrosh over the ETC was more a fact that playing Diablo into Garrosh feels absolutely miserable. You go in, you get the engage, you get thrown into the death zone, you die. And we are going to see that ETC, and there it is. Finally, the Malthael, what I've been talking about, a pick away from the enemy team, possibly. And a great pick nonetheless. You can go that on a pale horse at level 1 and just be able to soak like a madman, allowing your team to go ahead and really try and monopolize that bottom lane, grab both those camps. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Sylvanas here from either team. On a Jaina coming out very strong. Nano Jaina, there's always been a joke that you can just kind of win the game. However, there is a pretty good amount of dive on the side of THC. So Jaina will have to be on her toes, making sure she doesn't get blown up super quickly. And finally, coming out for Team Happy Cloud, I'd really like to see a Sylvanas. I think she's so strong here with her black arrows. Towers are considerably weaker, but it is going to be Junkrat. And that's not the worst pick either. I really like Junkrat. He's got a ton of poke, disrupt altars. The concussion mines are just dominant. So makes a lot of sense why we would see Junkrat come out here. Let's see if anybody wants to swap around, but it looks like, no, they're content with their picks. Not as much swapping as, say, Heroic Division. We can see a lot of swaps come out there. Usually, boop, back to me. And this time round, I think I have to give the draft to Team Happy Cloud. I think they have a really, really solid lineup. The only heroes they didn't pick, which aren't like the top of the list contested heroes, is Junkrat, and even that, Junkrat is still pretty amazing. Does a lot of really great work, so makes sense. Of course, ReGen's team is very good as well. However, I think Diablo might struggle a little bit into this team with the Malthael and the Junkrat. He tries to go in. You can just kind of boop him away, and then Malthael just gets free peel onto Diablo. He just eats him alive. But those are just my opinions. I'd love to hear yours as we go ahead and jump into our second game and potentially last of the evening. For this series, we'll be playing some more games afterwards. Over here on the left-hand side, we have Mudge on that Diablo, Repsychic on that Ana, Rabid Penguin rocking the Jaina, Daribo on that Greymane, and Arrow in the off lane this time. And Team Happy Cloud here rocking those orange health bars. It's going to be Sweet Buns on the ETC, Brett Michaels on that. Malthael, Galaxy Quest is your Talsadar, OJ Juice, Junkrat, and R275 Delta is going to be Deckard Cain. This is another fog map. We do have a pause as OJ Juice has left the game, so we're going to go ahead, pop back over to me until we understand what's going on. And I would like to talk about that fog just a little bit more. Too bad Eyes in the Dark doesn't reveal people, says Darabo. Yeah, OJ is disconnected, so we're just going to go ahead, wait for them. Teams just being kind of silly to each other right now. I can't say anything. I don't think I can pause or unpause because I'm the spectator, which makes my life a lot easier because I honestly hate doing that. It stresses me out so much. I have to find the pause break key, and the teams always do the countdown for me, so I never expect it. I'm just like, 3, 2, 1. I'm like, okay, go. And they're like, good job, Jinxie. And I'm like, nailed it. All right. So, OJJ is still in Discord, but he's not in the game. So, we're going to go ahead and wait for him for a second here. And back to the fog. Yes. So, looks like from my team's very scientific data that it's 2 minutes of fog and then 2 minutes off. If you stand in the fog for a couple of seconds, I don't remember how much. I think it's normal stealth time, so like 1.5 seconds or something, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. I'm not 100% sure. You become invisible. If you stay longer, I don't know if you become truly invisible at this one. We'll have to see. We can see right here on Sweet Buns. At least I can see that he is invisible. I don't know if there's a true invisible icon. We went ahead and rejoined the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Our friend has some high ping. Hopefully that won't affect him too terribly much, as Sweet Buns is just going to go ahead and get some soak. Darabo, the only one in the lane right now, as everybody else has rotated down. The wave clear significantly better on the side of ReGen. Out comes Mudge, trying to do a little bit of damage, but Diablo gets pulled into the slide. Janet comes out, tries to drop some damage on the Sweet Buns. Out comes Sleep. Grayman coming in, trying to shred him. Doesn't have any armor for a second, but that cube, Roderick cube, gonna save the day, making sure Sweet Buns doesn't die. Out comes Triangle of Death. And Grayman gets locked in it, able to get out, no problem though. Rabid Penguin clearing the wave. Won't have any follow-up damage for a couple of seconds here, but everyone is just trying to play the poke game. Camps are up, so we can see ReGen Phoenix immediately going over there. Sweet Buns looking to contest. They don't want to go to their own yet. He is going to step in there, get pushed into the team. Knockback and stun means that Mudge can do nothing. Darabo gets locked in that scroll of the ceiling. Wall comes out, and the camp was picked up. OJ Juice left the game again. Paused once again, so we're going to go ahead and pop over here while we wait to see what's happening. Thought it was yeah, that's fair. We still hear him, but he's not in the game. Oh no, poor OJ. As somebody who had potato internet for over 5 years, like, I definitely feel this. It's so frustrating. AI hearthed him away, rip. Everybody very upset about this. But like, seriously, I think for 5 years I lived in an area where we only had copper wiring, so there wasn't even the option to get better internet. So for 5 years I lived in 3 megabyte upload ping. 3 megabyte upload, and my ping, it was like 100 150 on a good day. I learned to play the game on that, and then I finally got to a place where we have really strong internet. So now I play on like 11, and it gets to those days where I get 100 again, and I'm like, this is unplayable. Like, how did I play like that back in the day? It's bad internet is frustrating. I've seen a couple of times on like Bahamut's stream where he gets really bad internet, so he goes ahead and gets very salty at Spectrum, has to like tweet him like 100 times, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, dude, I feel. When I had CenturyLink, I was like, come on. I would tweet them and I'd be like, yo, what the hell? Like, I have no internet. And they're like, oh, sorry, you've got like 1 megabyte, so like that's good enough for you. I'm like, dude, I can't even watch a YouTube video. And they're like, LOL, sucks to suck. So TLDR is I definitely understand the frustration of bad internet. Okay, let's try, says OJ Juice. They're gonna go ahead and unpause. There's the R, there's the R. I can't say anything. Thanks for your patience. Nice sportsmanship by both teams. Never mind. There's the BM. I'm not a doctor. Okay. Okay. Any second now. Both teams are ready. Let's unpause, please. Any second. Any second. I can't do anything because I'm the spectator. I have to like watch this. Where'd he go? Okay, teams are just waiting. Did another member DC? And is he the one that's paused the game? Oh no, that's awful. That's really awful if that happened. Where did he go? Brett Michaels? Please come back. Okay. Okay, yes. He is back. We are now. Okay. Team Happy Cloud is ready. ReGen is ready. So 3, 2, 1. We're going to go ahead and go back. Oh, and I nailed it just in time. Excellent. Good job, me. Teams are going to go ahead and jump back into game. Sappers, once again, were picked up by ReGen. Not so much for THC. We're going to see the team try and clear those sappers quickly. Now, Sweet Buns gets overpowered into the back line. Takes a lot of damage with the potion from Decker Kane. Able to heal him up. And those sappers are going to get no value here in the bottom. But now the team has to try and take these sappers without the... Okay. Well, they have to take the sappers from the clutches of ReGen Phoenix, as there are no reasons for ReGen to not contest. Excuse me, sorry. I totally butchered that. I'm reading chat. How many pauses do we get? 2 each, I think. Says they're just waiting. He has left the game again. Unfortunately, he says go ahead and go. Yeah, 1 pause remaining on Sweet Buns. Brett Michaels has 1 pause remaining. I think it's 3. I can't tell them that, unfortunately. He's back. Total amount of time anyway. Yeah, it is 10 minutes. Okay. 3, 2, 1. They're just going to go ahead and unpause it. I actually think that was kind of a lousy way to unpause the game, but nevertheless, we're back into it. Sweet Buns trying to make sure nobody grabs those sapper camps and are able to do so. Diablo tries to get that wall charge out onto ETC, but he's able to slide. He predicts it in a way that immediately stops it before it hits the wall. So really well played by Sweet Buns. And now the sappers are picked up for THC. They're going to go ahead, just try and clear these lanes, push these sappers out as far as they can. But Junkrat has left the game once again. Teams are just going to let it right out because he should be back any second now. We'll see how long they can get it. He's rejoined the game, and this is going to be the theme of the night, I feel. 1 sapper does go down. Jaina drops the Blizzard. That should be sappers 2 and 3 going down, and we are at our triple altar phase. So we'll see what the teams can do. It should be a contestant in the bottom lane, which it looks like it is, from both teams, and then the solo laners will go ahead and grab their top altars. Zool actually waiting to grab his. Sleep coming out onto ETC, who was channeling. He gets pushed by Mudge. Out comes the scroll. ETC gets a good slide onto the members of the team, but now he's on the wrong side of the map. He's being chased down by all 4 members of ReGen Phoenix. Solo laners finally arrive, and it is all-out war down here in the bottom lane. ETC sliding onto 2 members. Arrow trying to follow up. He gets a lock onto Galaxy Quest, but Galaxy Quest is able to escape no problem. Brett Michaels incredibly low, has to back up. ETC is pushed back into the team. This time the slide comes out. Unfortunately, so does that root, and a nice concussion mine by Junkrat. Unfortunately, Shadow Tower is going to seal ETC's fate. Junkrat has left the game once again. Very unfortunate. And it looks like this bottom altar is going to go over to ReGen Phoenix. I always do that, so we're going to E, Shift Z, please, please, Shift Z. There we are. Back to everyone, and I'd like to take a look at these talents here right now while we've got some time. We have that Shackler coming out from Arrow, not this backlash that we typically see at level 1. It's also going the W quest with the Grim Scythe and the Harvest Vitality. We usually see a Q quest with Jailers here, simply because he's in the solo lane. You're not going to get a whole lot of value from that off of one hero, but the team fights are going to be insane. Wizened Duelist, fairly standard. Sorry, Quicksilver Bullets coming out for Greymane, not the Wizened Duelist. I believe that is level 13. Sappers are picked up for ReGen. Sweet Buns able to go ahead and push one away. That first tower does fall. One Sapper makes it, and the other one was destroyed by Sweet Buns. Jaina, fairly standard build. Diablo, with that Malevolence coming out at 7, it's not going to be the reset on the Flames, nor is it going to be that, gosh, what is the other one over there? It doesn't matter. Sweet Buns gets stuck in the Blizzard, has to slide away. OJ users left the game once again. Sweet Buns running for their life. They are going to go down 1-0 so far. Force Wall comes out, and the team is just going to go ahead and try and wall away. This camp should go over to ReGen. They drop the scroll. Unfortunately, it's not going to hit. Galaxy Quest doing his best to poke out, but Sappers are going to go to over to ReGen with this Junkrat bot, and it feels kind of awful. OJ is having a miserable time. I see that arrow. Thank you. I've been trying to do my best to cast fairly and make sure that everybody in the chat is up to date. 2 altars are coming out for the members of ReGen. They're going to go ahead and try and grab this bottom one. Teams are just trying to do a ton of work. Junkrat the bot, they don't know he's a bot. He is going to go down. And much, this feels bad. I definitely agree. It is really difficult to play with a bot and a player having connection issues on your team. Both altars going to go over to ReGen here, as Junkrat didn't really have a lot to contribute, seeing that he is an AI right now. Down here in the bottom lane, Sweet Buns being focused down by Mudge. Once again, Jaina has her level 10, that water elemental. Mudge, unfortunately, getting stuck under the tower before it goes down. He is going to fall. Does not have souls completed yet. He's at 97, which is actually where you want to be as a Diablo if you're going to die at all. That bottom fort does go over to ReGen. Now they just basically live here. That's the play of the game. Can they protect this fort for long enough? Their enemies don't have level 10 yet. It's a miracle at all that they were able to grab one of those kills. And now they just have to kind of sit and watch and hope maybe once they get their level 10s, they can do something, which are online right now. Taking a look at these level 10 talents, we do have that Poison Nova come out, fairly standard for this build. Nano Boost, Greymane not being standard. He's got that go for the throw. He feels that the members of Team Happy Cloud are pretty squishy, so he can go ahead and just eat them alive as opposed to using that Cursed Bullet. ETC being engaged on once again, has to slide away, and it's been really difficult for ETC to try and use these power slides to engage because he's been taking so much damage. Fog has subsided, so no more stealth for the next 2 minutes. Lightning Breath for Diablo, Water Elemental, and then over on the side of THC, we got Junkrat holding his pick, probably because, yeah, he is an AI. Blast Rights, Lornado, Mosh Pit, and Archon. It's really going to be a difficult uphill battle for Team Happy Cloud. They do get Daribo in a corner. Unfortunately, Junkrat gets immediately busted up, but Diablo gets pushed into the death zone by a fantastic Lornado. He is going to go down. Greymane also falls there, and it is going to be 1 bot for 2 human players. Got to give it to THC for doing their best. Unfortunately, towers were picked up by ReGen, so their victory is short-lived. Unfortunately for Team Happy Cloud, I should say. Like, we're happy for ReGen. They're doing a very great job this game. Now they're going to go ahead and back up and reset. Team Happy Cloud going to try and take these Sappers while everybody's resetting. They don't have level 13 yet, so if the ReGen comes in, they will have to give this up. But the team is doing their best to make sure they're nice and zoned, able to grab those Sappers, and then they're just going to go ahead and try and get this bottom fort back. Zool has gone back top lane. 4 members are going to try and defend this bottom fort. However, with those Sappers, it will go back over to Team Happy Cloud. Junkrat's still not back in the game. It feels really bad for them. I feel so sorry for Team Happy Cloud. ReGen playing a phenomenal game down here in the bottom lane. Oh no, OJ just lost their connection, which means they're not coming back. That's really devastating. Mudge in a little bit of a pickle here. ETC tries to knock him into the scroll, and he actually does. Greyman comes out last right, not enough to finish the job, unfortunately. And Malvale is going to be the one who pays the price. Sweet Buns hitting a spectacular 3-man Moss. Can the team do anything with it? They do manage to pick off the Great Main, but ETC pays with his life. Jaina is going to be the next focus here. However, Mudge comes out. Junkrat, they're just bullying this poor little bot. Rabbit Penguin, however, does fall. Auto not long for this ward as the Archon is popped, and now Mudge is going to go ahead and have to disengage here. That ended up being 2 for 2, which consider 2 for 3, excuse me, when considering they have a bot is fantastic for Team Happy Cloud. Renamed to Team Sad Cloud. Oh, I know, what a pal. It feels bad. 3 shots are only going to be taken, however, as Arrow is able to grab that top plant. Brett Michaels jumping onto Arrow, bullying the heck out of him. Does he have his ult back up? He does not. Is he going to be able to catch Arrow? Unfortunately, no. Arrow is going to go ahead and get away with 250 health. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, we can go ahead and see that ReGen is going to go ahead and take their camps, and we'll take it this time to look at some more of these talents. We've got that Icy Veins coming out from Jaina, so her damage has risen exponentially as both teams are on the cusp of level 15. Or, excuse me, level 16. And this actually is really incredible for Team Happy Cloud. They've been able to play so well despite the fact that they have a boss here. Out comes the Riptire from OJ Juice. Actually does manage to get back into the game. They drop the Riptire just in time. Get a little bit of damage out. Sweet Buns doing his best to escape. Tornado unfortunately not hitting anybody, unlike Clappy Cloud would like. And now the assault is... the tower is under assault yet again. There's so much happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Tassadar gets rooted by Arrow. Has to just try and use that side beam to back away. Mudge looking at Galaxy Quest. Unfortunately gets poked out. Sweet Buns pushed by Diablo again, goes back into that wall. Sweet Buns on Mudge this time now. The whole team surrounding him. Poison Nova comes out, but Michael's taking a lot of damage here. Tassadar is sleeping in that Archon, a 2-man smosh pit by ETC. Greymane is going to follow. Mudge drops the Lightning Breath. Malthael is going to be the next to fall. Mudge in the middle of 4 members. It's another push onto ETC. Saved by OJ Juice there with a concussion mine. And it's going to be 1 for 1 so far. Ana still nice and healthy, able to heal up her team. Does not have that aim down sights active, as we can see. Sweet Buns trying to channel as best they can. Trying to get an interrupt. Sleep Dart is missed. Now Sweet Buns is on the offensive. Mudge pushes him into the wall, trying to stun him. Gets stunned out by the power slide. Mudge does not get body blocked by ETC. However, Rabbit Penguin is pushed into the back with that nano boost and immediately deleted by the power of Tassadar. They almost have that quest completed. 20 more stacks. They'll get an additional 250 damage. And that's when Tassadar really starts to hurt, when they get this level 1 quest online. Delta taking a little bit of damage here. Water Elemental does finally fall. Jaina can control that from death. So she was able to do the best with it that she could. Altars are taken 14 to 30 in favor of ReGen right now. Will we see the Sappers picked up? Second altar picked up by Junkrat. Once again, it's only going to be 6 shots as opposed to 8, as that top tower has not been taken back yet. Everybody's so focused on this bottom half of the map. Sweet Buns is just being bullied by Mudge this game. However, pushing him into the back like that is really allowing him to get on the back line. Ana is taking a ton of damage. Last Rites comes out, and that is a dead Overwatch hero on our screen. Mudge pushed back into the team by Junkrat. OJJ seems to be having a fine connection, and they're stabilizing. Really nicely done. Diablo Soul's taken there. He will respawn in 4 seconds, just based on the fact that is the power of his trade. Will be a lot weaker, though. And now the Sappers are going to be picked up by Team Happy Cloud, who are doing incredibly once again for all the struggles they've had to deal with outside of their control this game. Mudge sees Tassadar in that bush, decides, you know what, they're all over there, not worth it. 17 to 17. ADC gets a great slide onto Mudge, drops the mosh pit. Zool goes down. Mudge running for their life. Daribo in the back line here, surrounded by 4 members. RJ has no mana, however, and is going to go ahead and give him a bonk. Diablo next to fall. Greymane not long for this world either. He's does go down. Rabid Penguin with sub 50% health is going to say, you know what? I'm good. I'm good here. I'm going to go back to base. 3-man sleep dart. Take a little bit of tower damage there. Unfortunately, the team can't capitalize on it as they are all dead. There are 2 altars available here in the top lane, so we are going to see Malthael trying to get back that top tower before they decide they want to take these altars. That will give ReGen a little bit of time to respawn. However, we can see Sweet Buns already looking to invade. Recyclic trying to get on there, gets a slide onto Janna. Recyclic going to try and channel to the last possible second. Rabid Penguin incredibly low. They drop the ice block with the force wall. Is there not going to be enough to save their life unless Tassadar tries his best, is not able to grab Jaina. ETC goes in. He is body blocking 2 members. Greymane gets, or Ana gets last righted. Arrow doing his best to stay alive. He does have those scythe activated. Unfortunately, the team just says, you know what, we're going to go ahead and back up. So he's not able to heal too terribly long on those Grim swipes. Malthael is going to go down as Diablo dives into the backline. Arrow, he's stuck on that downside. He runs back and forth as best he can, but he does die to that Psionic Storm. Jaina incredibly low. She's poking best she can, and both teams are on the wrong side of the map, actually, now, with Team Happy Cloud being on the death zone. Mudge tries to get the interrupt, but unfortunately, being the only one left alive, he is going to go ahead and back up. Pushes his way onto the minion, and can they catch him? He's not mounted. There he goes. He's going to go ahead and scuttle away. Level 20 has been reached for THC, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these picks. We do have the tour bus coming out from ETC. He's confident in the Mosh that he's been landing, and I have to agree, there aren't a whole lot of Mosh interrupts on the side of ReGen. The only thing they have really is the Ana Sleep Dart. If that's used and that's free ETC, Diablo did not go that Apocalypse, so there's nothing they can really do, and this middle altar has been claimed by THC. They basically just want to live here now. Tassadar is out with that Twilight Archon. Malthael, as we saw when he returned, has the Nothing Can Stop Death. So he will have a longer death time here, but as long as he is able to wait out the cooldown, he should be fine. It's fine. He has been getting blown up a little bit in this series, but he's got that return, so he's able to come back for his team. You can see right here, they're going to go ahead, grab those sappers, and then look to hit that bottom camp. Level 20 reached on the side of ReGen. We have that nano infusion, so Jaina will heal while she does nano damage. That Hunter's Blunderbuss, blah, 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 which allows Splash on Greymane's human auto attacks, Bolt for Diablo, and Wintermute. It's going to be huge for Jaina. It's an insane amount of damage. Out comes the Lornado. Mudge has to run for their life. They get stuck in that Scroll of Stone Curse. Actually, not Scroll of Stone Curse. They opted for the Heroic Staff, which is the stun on the bonk. ETC gets pushed out of the Blizzard. Nice concussion mine. Saves his life. Deckard healing as best he can. Malthael gets stuck. Uses the Unstoppable. One-man stuck onto ETC. He gets a second Mosh with that tour bus. And they're going to go ahead and do some bullying onto Arrow now. However, the team is low in the back. Damage gets rooted. They have to back up. Both teams looking a little bit worse for wear. 1-0 onto the Ana, and that feels really bad for ReGen. They won't have a healer for this next altar phase, and these are 2 altars. That's going to be 8 whole shots going into the side of ReGen. 11 stacks left, and now we see Team Happy Cloud is ahead on their core shots. They're looking to grab this bottom tower. It is pretty healthy. We can see they're finally starting to get a little bit of damage onto that tower. Jaina trying to get rid of that minion wave, so the team is going to be taking themselves. You can see Sweet Buns to the Hellgate coming out from Diablo. Unfortunately, does not connect a stun. Mud, very low ice block used by Jaina, immediately evaporated by that Tassadar Archon damage. He is being focused by the core now here. He should back up unless he wants to just be punished indefinitely. But he's able to back up. Sweet Buns now tanking. Deckard keeping him nice and healthy. This bottom 4 does go over to Team Happy Cloud. And the resurgence, now that OJ Juice is back, is really insane. I can't say it enough. I don't want to be a biased caster or anything, but Team Happy Cloud is doing an incredible job despite everything that they've had to deal with. They've come back excellently. They're not letting this tilt them. Mudge gets stuck by the wall. Does have to power slide out. Lornado comes out trying to push him back, but is not able to do so. ETC gets the slide, however, and that is a dead Lord of Terror. middle fort picked up here by Team Happy Cloud. And now this is just the name of the game. We can see Malthael up here. Going to go ahead and try and grab that top camp. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, bottom camp being picked up by Happy Cloud. They have the whole map on lock practically. Staggering these deaths has just been incredible. ETC was able to kill Diablo up there in the middle lane. Diablo does not have his souls, so he is dead for another 30 seconds. And now they're on to Arrow. Out comes the Riptire. Tassadar doing a ton of damage. Poison Nova dropped to try and heal Arrow up. He's doing a pretty good amount of healing, but here comes that Lornado. Arrow is the next to fall, and that's going to be another staggered death for ReGen. Another altar comes out, and this will be 5 shots if Team Happy Cloud can gather it. Oh, there is no altar. They were just down there for funsies. Arrow is trying to escape and got caught out, it looks like. That's super unlucky. I thought there was an altar. Haha, my bad. Bottom fort is going to go ahead and go over to Team Happy Cloud now here. Middle fort was taken, and this is all Team Happy Cloud have to do to stay in this game now. They just take one fort at a time. They were able to grab those sappers, so now ReGen has to be very careful. Sappers are coming in, and it looks like only Sweet Buns is going to try and guide these sappers in. The rest of the team is going to try and do work elsewhere. With Jaina on the map and only ETC defending, isn't going to be any extra shots for THC. Hunter's Blunderbuss just trying to chew down those minions as fast as they can. We can see him try to get on top of ETC. ETC, the only one guarding, and the team is actually doing boss. ETC deciding, you know what, I've done enough down here. We're going to go ahead and take boss. They have OJ Juice tanking it because, fun fact, this boss is a boss that does % damage, so you want a smaller health pool hero to tank it, so you lose less health. If you have your tanks doing it and you're wondering why they die so fast, that's why. Malthael going to go ahead and check that bush, make sure that nobody is trying to get on top of them before this altar phase. And 2 shots left on the core of ReGen. This could be the end for them. Posturing from both teams coming up. Once again, we'll take a look at these talents. You guys can see the builds that they are working with here. Sappers tried to pick up by Happy Cloud. They might be able to do it. Yeah, here comes Diablo. They're going to go ahead and do it. He drops the Hellgate, and Riptire is popped immediately, and those are 2 humongous cooldowns burned for both teams. Diablo running as best as he can. He only has 85 souls, doing a lot of damage. Out comes the last rites, and Mudge is going to fall. Tassadar has that Twilight Archon. He's going to come out. Does get rooted by Arrow. Not able to do anything with it, though. Slide onto Darabo, and then a tour bus onto 2 members of ReGen. Psychic was able to pick up the altar while this is happening, so ReGen are still in this game. Archon is chasing down Jaina. Those sappers are coming in. Darabo not long for this world. Sweet Buns tries to get on top of Psychic, gets rooted underneath the tower, takes a little bit of damage. Out comes the nade, so that potion does absolutely nothing for him. Jaina coming out with the ice block does go down, and now this tower is going to go over to Team Happy Cloud. And with only Ana alive, the team could win by just taking all of these forts. It looks like that is going to try and be the play. We can see 2 members are going to go ahead and try and grab this middle one. Meanwhile, Malthael, who actually doesn't really have great siege damage, is going to try and take this top one. Over here, Tassadar and OJ just going to grab these sappers and make it as difficult as they can for Ana and Diablo. Diablo is back up now, gets the sleep onto Tassadar. Concussion Mine tries to grab Ana, unfortunately does not connect for him. And now the teams just live here. Diablo coming up, trying to defend this top fort, and it looks like this might be GG with only Ana to defend against Tassadar and the minions. Gets pushed away. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. Game number 2 going over to Team Happy Cloud. What an explosive series, ladies and gentlemen. From the top, I was like, oh no, and they're bullying the bot. This is just going to be kind of free. But it wasn't kind of free, actually. It had a nice pickup for Team Happy Cloud there in the end. We can see here especially 9-23, kind of a reverse of last game. Greymane putting in a ton of work, but Galaxy Quest doing almost double. And actually it is nearly exactly double Greymane's damage there. Greymane tried to get in, but the amount of stress coming out onto Diablo made it very difficult for him to jump in and finish those kills. And as a result, he couldn't do a whole lot of damage. He did his best. We'll go ahead and take a look at the talents here. If there's anything that we could have done better. I love that Junkrat went the boop 'em build. Like, with a bot, that could have been really devastating. Just booping him out of the mosh pit and everything. We got that blow him up, that concussion mine build coming out. Ruby getting a ton of work done for our Delta there, making sure that ETC stayed really safe, even though he was engaged on by Diablo quite frequently. Lord NATO came in clutch. That two-man push into the death zone at around 10 minutes into the game was just, it really propelled Team Happy Cloud forward. Excuse me for 1 second. I'm going to take a drink because, oh my gosh, there was so much happening that game. If there's anything. Tassadar, the build, it looked like the Tassadar build that I've seen. I don't know a whole lot about Tassadar, but I see most of the high-end Pyros pick up this this build, and it looks like we're already jumping into game number 3. So I'm gonna go ahead, drop myself over here. Surprise! It's Dragonshire. I don't know if you guys saw. If not, I went ahead and spoiled it for you. With that, we're gonna go for game number 3. Dragonshire. That's like everybody's favorite map, right? You get to watch them go up, and then they go down, and then they go up, and they go down. I'm gonna go ahead and update these scores really quickly, and then I will let the teams know that we are ready to go. Game number 3, our final game for the evening, is going to be Dragonshire. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure first pick right, so I can know who picked this. Yes, it is right. Okay, good. Happy face. Let's do like an Arthas cool. Arthas cool. That's the best emote in the game, in case you guys weren't wondering. Hey, okay, good. All right. I'm going to go ahead and update this super quick. So, once again, that was Towers of Doom, picked up by ReGen and won by Team Happy Cloud. Last game of the evening is going to be Dragonshire, and that was picked by ReGen. Okay. I'm going to go ahead, let them know that I am ready. And we will jump into our final game of the night. I'm mourning the loss of them. It was so cute. Gotta say that you guys are out watching it and supporting him. Wow, okay. First of all, how dare you? This is my stream. Don't come at me with Diva Cool. And second of all right, that's it. You're banned. Go ahead and mods ban him. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't ban him. Diva Cool is all right. I mean, it's not Arthas, but it's all right. Okay, we have a bio break, so you guys get to see more of my sweet face. And I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to jump away from me for a second. Go ahead and take a look at these maps. So anybody who is just joining us for the evening can see that I didn't update the scores. Boop, there we go. Okay, so once again, Alterac Pass and Tomb of the Spider Queen were banned by ReGen. Sky Temple and Braxis were banned by Team Happy Cloud. First map of the evening was Battlefield of Eternity, which was picked by Happy Cloud and won by ReGen. The second game was Towers of Doom, which was picked by ReGen and won by Happy Cloud. And now this evening, map pick is going to be Dragonshire, went over to ReGen. So we will have first pick on Dragonshire going to Happy Cloud, and the teams are all ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. I'm on the wrong layer. Sorry, you're going to see my really cool transition once again. Hi, Jacqueline Hyde. How are you? Welcome to the stream. We're on game 3, and then we're going to play some May, and then I have another series for you guys here in about an hour and a half. So we'll probably get one May game in before I decide to go take a break, rest my voice a little bit, swap over our overlay, and then we will have another series. We are going to try and get at least one game of May. teams, what rises in priority here? The first thing that comes to mind is Rexar. Rexar is kind of the king of Dragonshire and Braxis right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him picked or banned away unless neither of the teams play him. He is kind of a niche hero right now. First man of the evening is going to go ahead and be that Johanna. Once again, they don't want Arrow to have that Johanna. He's pretty good on it. Can confirm my team did play against him. They played with Johanna, and it was a rough series. Rhaegar, once again, going to be banned away from R275 Delta. Just because Bloodlust and Ancestral are incredible. Also, Rhaegar does a significant amount of more damage, more than any other support. I mean, we saw Decker get a couple of bonks in there with that heroic stop. But Rhaegar just, like, really hurts, like, a lot. He's got a lot of health being a melee support. So, once again, get him out. Next ban of the evening, gonna go ahead and be Rexar. There we are. Nobody wants to play against the king of Dragonshire. So what do we see here? Are we gonna see that Cassia ban hasn't been taken? Are we gonna see an ETC because we saw that Sweet Buns did a ton of work on it. Zool is an option here as well. It is gonna be that Samuro. They do not want Team Happy Cloud to get that Samuro. Oh, first pick. We could see the Greymane. Li Ming, not terrible here. ETC is very solid. Not a bad early pick. It is going to be that Cassia. Nobody wants to deal with Cassia. Unfortunately, ReGen is going to have to right now, seeing as they left it open. And if Galaxy Quest follows anything that go by for the Cassia, this is going to be incredibly obnoxious. Jumping forward, doing a ton of damage, and then jumping out. ETC task picked up by ReGen. Once again, a really solid opening. I'm surprised they let them have it, considering how devastating it was in game number 1. Wait, which draft? Bloodlust is very strong. Garrosh was not banned out, so we are going to see the Garrosh come back. The Deckard Cane also picked up here. Really great for Garrosh. You can hit those rubies, run in, and feel really safe. And I know that Diablo feels the worst into Garrosh. Do you know who also feels terrible? It's ETC. You slide forward, you get thrown in the team until level 10. If you get thrown into the team at level 10, then that's kind of a free mosh pit. Like, you're surrounded by all the heroes. They turn around to try and kill you, and you're like, hell yeah, press R. Malthael gonna be banned out for that solo lane. Don't want to deal with it because Brad Michaels was really oppressive on that Malthael there in the last game. Great job today, Jacqueline. I'm glad you had fun. Talking about Sweet Bunch Johanna. Okay, fair enough. Everybody wants to play Johanna right now. She is very strong. Final ban of the evening. Gonna go ahead and be given to that Stukov, who can interrupt the combo that this team has going on, which I quite haven't figured out yet, unless it's sleep into taunt into Cassia damage, which is a lot. Can definitely understand that. ReGen Phoenix. What could they pick up here? They need a support. Rhaegar has been banned away. Stukov has been banned away. So Anduin is a definite option here. Get the cleanse on that throw. Make sure that nobody gets blown up immediately. And that's exactly what it's going to be. Raynor picked up once again, who feels pretty darn good into Garrosh. Because even though he's got the armor, you can still just go ahead and poke away at him. Everyone knows how frustrating I think it is to play into a Raynor because he is so far back. Finally, rounding out the evening for Team Happy Cloud, we are going to see the Dahaka in the top lane. And last but not least, wait for them before we talk about Dahaka. It is going to be Jaina. Jaina picked up this time for Team Happy Cloud. Now you're like, you know what? Those heroes look good. Mind if we take them? Jaina does a ton of damage, is able to clear the waves fairly quickly. Dahaka, I think, is kind of interesting because I don't think Dahaka can necessarily hold the point well. He can burrow down and harass the bottom point, which is going to be crucial to the win of Team Happy Cloud. However, on the point, like, Dahaka never wins a lane. He just soaks it. He's incredibly sustainable, especially into Sonya. If she goes that war paint at level 1, it is going to be a ton of damage onto Dahaka, who does have to soak up those minions to get that essence. We'll have to see. No swaps coming out yet. Everybody is happy with the heroes that they've picked. Oof. Looking at these drafts, I really think I'm going to give it to ReGen Phoenix. I like their draft. I think they have a really good, solid team there. We have a lot of really hard engage for ETC. Repsychic can pull out anybody who gets thrown by Garage. Raynor is just an all-around, well-rounded damage dealer who can do a ton of auto attack damage from a safe distance. Sonya great on the point, and then Tassadar just kind of wins the game as we've seen the last 2 games. Like, he does an insane amount of damage for no reason. It's a lot different than our old Tassadar, where we had you know, he wasn't a very good hero back in the day. Now I hope we can get the same treatment for Kerrigan, because I feel like she is under-tuned for what she does in StarCraft. But anyway, we have a rain map this time, not a fog map. Rain map gives movement speed. Over here on the left-hand side, for the final time this evening, we're going to see Arrow on that ETC, Repsychic on the Anduin, Rabbit Penguin once again on that Raynor, Darabo once again on that Tassadar, and Mudge once again on that Sonya. Over here on the right-hand side, we're going to see Galaxy Quest on that Cassia, Delta right there on that Deckard Cain, Sweet Buns on the Garage. OJ Juice is your Jaina, and Brett Michaels rocking the Dahaka. Both tanks trying to jump into the Bermuda Triangle, make sure everything is nice and safe. Get a throw onto Anduin. He is immediately blown to bits. Nothing ETC could do there, even though we got a pretty solid stun. Could save him from the Cassia Jaina damage. And that's kind of what you get. Lightning shields picked up for both teams. You're going to go ahead and move as fast as possible. Clear out these minions. A lot of damage done to the minions. First death due to reading weather facts confirmed. Now, what exactly are the weather facts? If we hover over, does it say? A rainstorm is periodically granting all heroes 15% movement speed and causes them to deal 46 damage per second to nearby enemies last 8 seconds. Makes sense. So it's basically Storm Shield and movement speed. Feels good. Sweet Buns coming in, gets a stun right there onto Arrow. Trying to get the throw onto him, but Arrow is weaving very tactfully through the minions, making sure that Garage can't get anything. And now it is time to look at these siege camps for both. Sweet Buns comes around, hovers, seeing if he can't grab anybody. Arrow does not get thrown. A minion is thrown instead. So they live. Rainstorms coming down. Lightning shields are back. Let's take a look at these level 1 talents. A couple of quests for both teams. We are going to see globes for ETC and Jaina. We have that Warbreaker for Garage, making sure that he gets that bonus damage and reduce CDR on his Groundbreaker. Tassadar going once again for that static charge. I think we've seen it in every single game. Cassia rocking those static or those charge strikes. A little bit different than our old charge strikes. Throw onto Repsychic. The slide comes out trying to stop him, but the follow-up from Deckard Cain is just absolutely insane. Repsychic is going to go down again. Arrow tries to step onto Sweet Buns, and actually is just in the middle of the team. He's getting really body blocked by Sweet Buns. Unfortunately, Jaina has no mana, can only auto attack. Out comes the lock onto ETC. Is thrown out of the blizzard, unfortunately. Well, no mana. There's a third kill of the game going over to Team Happy Cloud. Daribo and Rabbit Penguin going to come down now. Try and see if they can't reclaim this bottom lane. Siege Giant's already disposed of on the side of ReGen. However, still nice and healthy for Team Happy Cloud, who are just going to go ahead and clear up in the middle lane. See that ReGen has stepped onto this bottom point. So they're just going to go ahead and back up. He said, you know what, I'm good. I don't want to get thrown by Sweet Buns Garage again. And now I'm remembering why we banned him, because holy moly, he is putting in work. Groundbreaker comes out. ETC able to use that face melt. He does have level 4, so that is the bigger face melt, meaning Garrosh is pushed back sooner. Dragon Knight early on being picked up. Out comes the slide from ETC and the penetrating round from Raynor, making sure he doesn't get thrown. Those are 2 really big cooldowns that aren't going to be up as Jaina jumps down, looks at the team for a second. Out comes the Indomitable. Arrow gets thrown. Leap of Faith having to be used there by Repsychic, making sure ETC does not get blown to bits. And honestly, I just to say, Like, please respect Garrosh. Like, Arrow, what are you doing? You're 1v3. They're all on there. You're not gonna take the point. And he gets groundbreakered again. Like the disrespect of this Garrosh is just unreal. He's already killed 3 members of your team. Arrow getting stunned once again, and they're just walking at him. They don't walk next to Garrosh. There's one thing the team has instilled in me, it's you don't walk next to Garrosh. Groundbreaker hit once again. Rabid Penguin getting slowed. He does able to use the knockback on the power slide to get out. It seems that they're finally understanding that Sweet Buns is going to kill you. Do not disrespect him. You will die. Groundbreaker coming out again. We are half level 7. We are hitting level 7. Yes, we are half level 7. Once again, Indomitable picked up for Garrosh. We do have that into the fray as well. Jaina going the standard build of globes at 1, and then going that Frostbolt build to make sure she gets lots of damage onto these heroes and onto their forts. Raynor, pretty standard. We do have that unstable compound, which increases the area, give him some pepper by 15%. Anduin going for a standard. Oh gosh. While I was talking about talents, up here in the middle lane, Jaina just goes ahead and ices Tassadar there. Arrow takes a ton of damage on the wrong side of the screen, has to go around the long way, and these Siege Giants are going to go over to Team Happy Cloud. Arrow trying to stand on the point is able to use that face melt to knock away. We slide onto Cassia while she fends, really great. Unstoppable coming out for Garrosh, and now Arrow has to run for his life. Unfortunately, it is just Cassia and Sweet Bun, so they aren't going to be able to kill him with Recycled healing him up. Out comes that scroll once again. See if we can't get a root. Unfortunately, we can't. Arrow steps out, gets groundbreakered. Who could have foreseen that? Tries to knock back Garrosh as this wave is just pushing. They're doing a lot of damage here. Everyone is fighting so much. I really want to look at the top lane, but we have a ton of fighting coming out here in the middle. Rainstorm just started up again, so everybody's going to get a lightning shield slide onto Cassia. Garrosh able to finish with that Warbreaker. Out comes Leap of Faith, making sure that Raynor does not get obliterated to bits. Lornado coming out, making sure the team stays in their base. You stay there. Jaina is going to come out. Oh, Water Elemental has a icon now. That's also new. I don't think we've ever had a Water Elemental icon. Tassadar comes out, trying to do damage to that Dragon Knight. Middle lane is being incredibly pushed. We're going to see the kick onto Task. Small wall is broken. And now Dragon Knight just looking to take that middle fort. This is the first Dragon Knight of the game. Level 10 has been reached by Team Happy Cloud. Tassadar going to get the boot once again. And now Dragon Knight has turned its eyes to the fort. Mudge is here trying to chase away the dragon. With half health and all the members showing up, it would be wise for Janet to go ahead and get the heck out of dodge. And it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go ahead and try and look at the bottom lane. The Storm Shield has been granted to every member of the game. So they're going to go ahead and try and step up, use a little bit of damage there. Tahaka kills Sonya up in the top lane. 2 more T2ers for you guys. Dragon Knight is finally finished. Out comes ETC. Level 10 is reach for both teams. We'll maybe see a mosh pit here. Does not look like it. Water Elemental has been dropped once again. It is back up. Rainer's Raider taking a little bit of damage, but able to kill that Water Elemental. And let's talk up a little bit about our talents, unless we're just going to go ahead and fight. Unstoppable comes in, gets thrown into ETC. Taught used right as Leap of Faith is, so unfortunately, Groff is not able to connect. Cassia drops the Valkyrie. Rabid Penguin able to sidestep it. Arrow now looking for the members of Team Happy Cloud. It gets a slide. Delta has been spread away, able to drop that Scroll of Sealing though, making sure no one is going to step up onto him without being rooted. Arrow in the back, but he's very low, and here comes Tahaka, who does get rooted. Light Bomb thrown by Garrosh, does not hit anybody, and ReGen is running for their lives. Recycling less than 20% health, has to tap. Darrow getting bullied by the Lornado, and everybody's ult are just back up again. Holy moly. They've been fighting for so long. Tries to groundbreaker there. A nice face melt by Arrow ensures that nobody is going to get stunned. And I think we can finally talk about level 10 at level 11 and 12 now that everybody has settled down. Except for up here in the top lane, Mudge is bullying Brett Michaels. I think Brett Michaels might be trying to antagonize him. Come on, come into my fort. Like, it's fine. I won't tongue you and bring you into the towers and kill you. And that's exactly what happens. Mudge did not hit Tahaka, however, manages to grab the well on the way out. fight breaking down here in the bottom. Arrow is in the wrong place at the wrong time, gets blown to bits. Lornado pushing everybody off of that camp. Out comes Valkyrie. Tassadar gets immediately taunted. He tries his best to survive. Anyone healing as best he can, but he is going to go down, and that is going to be 2 for nothing. And a camp going over to Team Happy Cloud. And Team Happy Cloud has really found their momentum. Despite what happened to them game 1 and the last game, they are just dominating ReGen now. They're going to go ahead and turn their eyes to this bottom fort. And it looks like despite the fact that they are going to take the aggro of the tower, it should go down here. Jaina finally finishing her level 1 quest. ETC is back. Jaina slows them to make sure the team can get out safely. The tower does not fall yet. It should only be a matter of time. Siege Giants available for Team Happy Cloud. So we'll see if they want to continue to fight here. And everybody is just fighting. Okay. Raider is going to go down. You've seen these long enough. We should expect our ultimate snap positions. We've seen all of them come out like 2 times. But we do have Mosh Pit, Light Bomb, Archon, Wrath of the Berserker. Anduin gets thrown, immediately taunted. Arrow and Anduin. Anduin drops the Light Bomb on himself. He does go down before it is able to connect. And now Arrow's running for his life. Out comes Valkyrie. That is a dead ground beef cow. And now the fort is going to go over to Team Happy Cloud, who are just dominating this bottom lane. You can see Sonya up here in the top is doing some pretty good work. Jaina has come to help Dahaka, however. He pops the essence. And now Sonya is fleeing for her life. She did use her Wrath there. She will have it up in 25 seconds. And with that extra move speed on Sonya, she is just going to go ahead and get out. Dragon Knight once again available for Team Happy Cloud, and they're going to go ahead and pick that up. Looking to take this middle fort. A huge wave is going to make it fairly easy for the Dragon Knight to step up. Arrow is alive. We can maybe take a fight behind us. We haven't seen Moshpit yet, so it is still alive. Rain is not active. No Storm Shield to help with this Dragon Knight here. Taunt onto ETC. Leap of Faith has to be used once again. Out comes the Scroll of Sealing, hitting nobody. And now the keep is the goal of Cassia in this Dragon Knight. Returning down towards bottom, seeing as that other fort has already been taken. Sonya is kicked all the way into Narnia. OJ is trying to do a lot of damage. Arrow slides in, trying to grab Delta, but Delta with a successful sidestep. Out comes Tassadar's Archon and Jaina's Water Elemental. Ton of damage coming out from Jaina. I do believe she popped her Icy Fins there, getting a ton of damage. Sonya spins to win, survives here. Darabo loses that Archon, and now it's everybody's turn to flee for their life. Arrow has to slide to make sure he doesn't get caught in the Scroll of Stone. Unstoppable coming out. Rabbit Penguin is going to pay the death price for falling a little bit behind there. We might see the Giddy Up come out at level... Okay, it's Rallying Cry, never mind. So he does not have that move speed. He's not going to be able to escape from the clutches of Garrosh. And now we see why Sweet Buns has had it banned so many times. Cassia sitting in the bush, making sure nobody comes on, trades for Sweet Buns, and they're just going to go ahead and pick up this Bruiser camp, this aggressive siege camp, excuse me. And the team just wants to push. ETC drops the face melt, making sure Groundbreaker cannot be achieved right there. Big potions coming out for Deckard, making sure the team is going to be nice and topped up for this push that they are trying to commit. With so many members of the enemy here, however, Galaxy Quest left all by them lonesome. Garrosh comes back trying to get their friend out. I don't think we've seen Into the Fray used once yet. Nobody's really been engaged on. Down here in the bottom, Delta and OJ Juice going to go ahead, take this bottom camp, putting even more pressure in this weakened bottom lane. Here comes ReGen. Delta is going to push back the back line, make sure nobody can connect. Out comes those Storm Shields, and now it is going to be Rabbit Penguin who gets saved by the Leap of Faith. Arrow is not going to be so lucky. Taunt comes out onto Anduin, who is thrown. He drops the Light Bomb, immediately dies before it is used. And Sweet Bunch is just terrorizing this backline team. Throws Jaina, trying to get some extra damage onto Darabo. Out comes the Valkyrie, hitting Darabo. They are going to fall. Scroll coming out just to make sure that he does die. And now the team is looking to take this keep. Rabbit Penguin doing their best. Banshee is low. He's low. There's nothing they can do. We should have lightning shields back in a second. There they are. And the keep is looking grim. Falling very quickly with the Bruiser camp to help. Is going to be a lot of damage coming out. First game of the keep surely going over to Team Happy Cloud.
There must always be a Dragon Knight, but will it be you?
team going to go ahead and back up here now. Arrow trying to scout around and see if he can't catch anybody who is rotating unsafely. However, only finds Sweet Buns and decides, you know what? Not worth it. Mudge fleeing for their life on their horse, deciding, I could interrupt the Dragon Knight, but I'd actually like to live to defend it. Third Dragon Knight of the game going over to Team Happy Cloud. And we could see the end of the game here. They're going to go ahead and try and push the fort here in the middle, debating whether or not they want to wait for the minions, if they want to go up and grab it. Garrosh is not hit with that Groundbreaker. He has completed his World Breaker quest. So it is on a fairly short cooldown. Hits Mudge. This time, Lornado going to push the team away, making sure not too much damage is going to come to the Dragon Knight. Water Elemental has to drop, doing a ton of damage to Arrow. Rabid Penguin kicked away. Mudge on the back line does not get hit by this scroll. He's doing a lot of damage to that back line, but Jaina is doing even more. Leap of Faith coming out, so whoever gets thrown by Garage is just going to be kind of screwed. Dragon Knight really not getting a whole lot of value. BTC coming out with the, Mudge coming out with the light bomb, jumps into the back, is spinning to win. Sweet Buns may actually fall down here, but they get a humongous Groundbreaker shield. Heals from Decker, keep him alive. Nice and healthy. Arrows on the back line, causing chaos. Rabid Penguin running for their life, trying to do what little damage they can. Out comes the scroll. Dahaka taking damage. And that's going to be a 4-man mosh pit. Jaina is the first to fall. Sweet Buns throws Galaxy Quest to safety. Decker Kane able to throw some potions to make sure everyone is safe. Galaxy Quest jumping back in. Arrow taking a ton of damage. Rabid Penguin also taking damage. Cassia on him like a stink on a dog, is going to try and chase them down. Rabid Penguin, 65 health, able to get healed up there. Unfortunately, not enough. Arrow is the next to fall, and that is going to be 2 for 1 in favor of Happy Cloud. They are just unstoppable at this point. Garrosh does not die. That armor is absolutely insane. Galaxy Quest thrown to safety, healed up by Garrosh. Healed up by Deckard, and then able to come back in. Sweet Buns just basically living in the base now, and Galaxy Quest just bullying this Polar Tassadar. Mudge is going to go ahead and come back. Garrosh says, I don't care, go ahead and wrap. Drops the taunt. Leap of Faith has to come out. We should definitely see that Leap of Faith here at level 20. Level 20 is reached by Team Happy Cloud. Team is on their retreat now. Out comes that scroll. Will we see Brett Michaels fall? No, we will see Rabid Penguin get stunned, pushed into the team. Contagion on him. Ooh, Dahaka does fall. However, the team was incredibly low. They went in trying to get that pick. However, Anon was able to keep him nice and healthy, so he did not fall. And then Dahaka, they spent a lot of engages on that. I think the crowning jewel there, though, was Cassia pulling the light-bombed Rainer into her team with that Valkyrie by mistake. Everybody saw the kill. They called it, but unfortunately, Anon was just a bit quicker for them.
Put an end to this cursed realm.
Level 20 still not online for Team Happy Cloud, who I actually just noticed now they did take some core damage here. If we look, we have 91% on the core. They took a little bit. I'm not sure if that was from catapults. Most likely was down in that bottom lane. Art's going to watch the teams kind of try and reset here. Level 20 is still not available. We saw that last Dragon Knight. It was 16 and 19. ETC gets the one-man mosh onto Garrosh. Unfortunately, out comes the Lornado and the Valkyrie. Mudge is very low in the back. Arrow gets caught in that blizzard, and that scroll is stone. The root coming out, having to use that Leap of Faith on Arrow, making sure he doesn't die. Garrosh stunning everybody as they come out. Out comes the Wall of Force, but it's just a little too late, and Sweet Buns is able to walk through. Ruby is now online. Dahaka in some serious trouble. Brett Michaels is saved, however, as that Titanic Might comes out. Sonya immediately dies. Darabo very low. ETC is the next to fall. Sweet Buns is also low, but they have 25% armor. They finally go down. So far, it is 2 for 1. Darabo very low. He goes in. He's got the Archon. He is going to go down. Storm Shield's available for the teams. This could be the speed boost they need to chase, but deciding 1 for 3 is pretty good. And we'll see if the team wants to consider ending here. They have a pretty strong bottom lane push, but without Garrosh, it looks like they're just going to go ahead and try and play the map. We have 3 members down or up here in the middle lane. Dahaka looking to grab the Dragon Knight. Cassia stepping on this point. Only Anduin and Rainer alive. They are just going to have to try and eat this dragon. However, Anduin is able to grab that top point. He grabs it completely, and we'll see if this costs him his life. Water Elemental is dropped. It is a Winter Mute on Water Elemental, but it looks like it might actually be a wasted ultimate, as it doesn't even go in under the tower to try and grab Anduin. So Jaina won't have that up for the next fight. Luckily for her, it is a relatively short cooldown, 45 seconds left on it right now. She does get in the Dragon Knight now. She won't have her Water Elemental here. Storms are live once again. We can see the members all have those Storm Shield-like apparatuses on themselves. Jaina looking to push this middle lane. And at 18 minutes, I say they might consider looking to end the game here. They don't have to grab this middle keep. They can go bottom and try to end. ETC was kicked away. Mosh Pit will be up soon. This could be their savior for ReGen. They've been behind the entire game. A 5-man Mosh Pit could change that. They have top lane secured. They could go through the keep and end if they can get a huge mosh here. They're gonna try and kick Arrow into oblivion, making sure he's not able to do that. I'm Penguin hit by the drag. Level 20 is online for ReGen. He's back. Do we see ETC slide in with the mosh? He does have that death metal since he has been going down so much. Mudge harassing Galaxy Quest in the back, and Fantastic Contagion hitting 2 members. Titanic Might hitting 2 members of ReGen. Raynor is going to be the first to fall. Arrow kicked back into base. Dario running with his Twilight Archon, gonna try and do a ton of damage to the dragon. Out comes the Lornado. Mudge having to push back. Leap of Faith was picked up by Anduin, so there are no more Leap of Faiths available. Dragon Knight, however, again, not getting a whole lot of damage. They really want this mid fort, but ReGen is saying, no, we're not gonna give it to you without a fight. We did lose Raynor there, but they're still able to fight. Dragon Knight goes down. Brett Michaels taking a little bit of damage from that Twilight Archon, has to back up and be healed to safety. Team Happy Cloud gonna go ahead and decide they're gonna grab this siege camp and try and push this already harassed lane, see what they can do for it. And let's take a look at these level 20s for ReGen. We have that Executioner for Raynor doing extra damage to players who are lower than 40% health, I believe. Ignore Pain coming out for Sonya, making sure she stays nice and healthy. Twilight Archon, as we saw earlier. And then, of course, Glyph of Faith for 2 charges, and Death Mosh in case ETC does die. Happy Cloud is just going to go ahead and grab this camp now. Will we see the contestation from ReGen? They're considering it, then decides we're going to go ahead, we're going to clear this wave, and maybe look to fight in the lane. Corridors are Tassadar's ideal place. All the team is grouped up here, however. I don't know if they saw ETC. Looks like they're checking for him. They did see him. Out comes that Herodric Cube. So the team is going to go ahead and retreat. ETC getting out nice and safe. And with this Bruiser camp, we could be looking for a death push. We are levels 21 to 23. A ton of damage coming out for the both teams. Everybody is available. ETC looks like he went up to Scout. Not sure what he was doing there in the Bruiser camp area, but it looks like with this Bruiser camp, Team Happy Cloud is making that core march. Can they end with all 5 members up? It is risky. Dahaka isn't there yet. Garrosh goes in, throws Sonya into the team, but now she's doing a ton of work in the back. Sweet Buns does not go down. Sonya does fall to the back line. We saw Mosh Pit come out there. Did get the 10-second cooldown. OJ Deuce is incredibly low. Valkyrie comes out onto ETC and Anduin. Arrow taking a ton of damage. He gets the Mosh, hitting 2 members. Dahaka will be stunned as soon as he comes up. Arrow does go down. Raynor very, very low. Jaina very low. Death Mosh hitting 2 members. Jaina, can she survive? She grabs all those potions and is back to 4 health. Dario dropping the force while making sure he's nice and safe. We do have a Twilight Archon, so this does not mean it is the end of the game. 2 members getting stunned by the core mechanics. Arrow trying to grab it, or Sweet Buns, excuse me, trying to grab onto Darabo, is not able to do so. Lornado pushing him away. He's trying to get his damage out, but the team is so spread. And now he gets thrown into the team. Out comes the Glyph of Faith, 65% on the core. Can they turn this around? The team is nice and healthy. It doesn't look like it, so that is going to be our 3rd and final game of the evening, going over to Team Happy Cloud. GG. Whew. What a fantastic game to go out on. And we saw Team Happy Cloud was incredibly dominant that series, only getting 3 kills the entire time, or losing 3 kills, I should say. We saw Gross go down once, Jaina go down once, and Dahaka. For the rest of the team, that was really unfortunate. Poor